Why is this industry rapidly growing? You see, there's a massive problem affecting 34 million small business owners in the United States, and that is getting access to capital. So according to the SBA, 80% of business owners don't have access to capital the way that they needed to grow their business. But let me tell you a secret. They don't have access to the capital, not because they have bad credit. It's because they keep going to the same 1 to 2 banks. And let me know if this is true. Maybe you're this person. Your average entrepreneur goes to the bank one time. You're super busy running your business. So you take time out of your busy schedule that stops you from making money so you can get money so you can grow. You go to the bank. You probably go to Wells Fargo, Chase, PNC Bank, Bank of America, any of the big five, US Bank. You get the client and then you never go back to another bank. Yet, guess how many banks are in the United States? Somebody take a guess in the chat to make this a little bit interactive. Somebody take a guess. Somebody take a guess. All right. Somebody said 10,000. That's kind of true. 5,000, 500,000. No. So 8,000. The closest person is Heather. There's 4,566 FDIC insured commercial banks as of 2024 in the United States, and over 13,000 direct lenders that are not FDIC insured because they don't hold deposits. So do you think that if you went through all of those financial institutions, somebody's not willing to give you the money? And I'll tell you which situation that they don't qualify for the money. So because your average entrepreneur, all they do is just go to like 5 banks, 2 to 3 banks max. They get the client. You're never trying this again. And I get so many clients that come to me that way, like, hey, I've been making mad money for the last 10 years, but now it's time. I have a business owner that just knocked on my door. Well, they didn't technically knock on my door, just like we got a referral. Makes $40 million a year, multiple restaurants. Now he wants to open his biggest location that is gonna be crazy, actually here in Orlando. Great concept that hasn't been done before, immersive dining. And I'm a avid customer of that person. And guess what happened? Now he's gonna open up that business, but he doesn't have the capital for that. So he came to me to my company. We're gonna help him get the capital because it took him probably like 14 years to collect all the capital to grow to the point that he has gotten. So he's able to buy time. He doesn't have to wait another 5 years to do that. So, anyways, that's just what happens. Your average entrepreneur, they don't know what bank to go to. And guess what? What if they have somebody that knew what banks they can take them to based on the data points, right? Based on their personal credit, business credit profile, industry, where they're located, and you have the bank, so you have the means to get them the right lender without a hard pull. Wouldn't you pay for that service? I can tell you the answer right now. Most entrepreneurs will pay for that service. How do I know that? Because I have made a lot of money from that specific service. You are the middleman. All you're doing is you're connecting the dots. You find the right bank. You have the customer. You're the middle person. They don't know about this random bank that they have never heard about. Or maybe you have that relationship at a bank like Chase or something like that, or Bank of America, that they're pretty good at what they do, like I used to be when I was working in banking. And now you get paid either from the customer directly, from the bank, or both. And all you did was just connect the dots. And that's basically what a business loan broker is. All right. And I'm kind of I want to script. I even forgot what's next on the slides, but like that's basically what this is. You are a matching service for lending. So you're like Tinder for entrepreneurs and banks. Lender. Somebody trademark that. Anyways, so yeah, I already went through all this stuff. It's a multi-trillion-dollar problem. That's basically what it is. So what is truly the problem? Why aren't these people getting funding? Right? On top of not going to the same banks, the big banks have failed the entrepreneur over and over again. Think about the 2008 recession crisis. I don't like the economy. We're not lending. The beginning of the pandemic, we don't know what's going to happen. We're not lending. Redlining back in the day for those of you that were around those times, some of your parents. But again, so many different reasons because banks are going to do what's best. But it's the big banks. Smaller banks actually do care. The community banks care about the community. And on top of that, your average client goes to the bank they wait weeks to see if they're gonna get an approval or a denial, to make a whole bunch of paperwork just for them at the end to be told they're declined. Versus when they deal with us, we're already putting them on a 90% chance of approval once we're willing to submit a deal, right? At least that's kind of how we go with my company. Like we pre-underwrite it. I'm not gonna get into that. I don't want to confuse you guys. But anyways, so they're asking for a whole bunch of documentation, and then your average entrepreneur doesn't have that stuff. They need money quick, or if so, they need somebody that can help them with the paperwork, right? So, anyways, like those are some of the reasons why. So many options, right? But we just don't know where to take them. But today, I want to show you how to become a professional loan matchmaker. So, anyways, let's just dive right in. No more. I just want to give you like a quick background story. Secret number one. Let me show you how you make money in this industry. Let me see someone's in the chat. If you want to learn how money is made in this industry, and again, the more energy you guys give me, the more banks and more strategies I might give you. Okay? And we're gonna start with the most popular one. So I definitely see the energy in the chat. Here's the process, and please pay attention. Like this is the part you really want to pay attention. So like I don't get the same questions later. You're gonna ask a business owner a set of questions to identify three things: the right lending product, the right funding strategy, and the right lender with the highest chance of approval, right? And I'm going to tell you which questions to ask in a little bit. And you're going to have plenty of solutions to offer for your client. Like we're not a cookie cutter funding agency. I don't teach cookie cutter funding strategies like credit card stacking, but I'm going to teach you that today. And I'm going to give you a document too, so you don't have to pay somebody $5,000 to $10,000 to learn that skill. Right, it's a good strategy to do, but the banks change their underwriting policy. A lot of people will be out of business that are doing this stuff online. We actually do SBA loans, equipment loans, business lines of credit, working capital loans. We do merchant cash advances in certain situations, equipment financing, invoice factoring, commercial real estate, DSCR loans. We do a whole bunch of different products because when a customer comes to us, we have all the solutions for them. Right, including ABL, asset-based lending too, right? So we do that to make sure that they don't go to another company. So once we get that client, we're gonna keep it forever, and that's what I teach. So anyways, this is the second part that's the most important, so please pay attention. I'm actually gonna slow down a little bit. Who do we lend to? Please pay attention. I don't know, people still ask me this question. So if you have somebody that has excellent credit, we can get them funding almost to all of our products if they have a business. But what happens if they're a startup and they don't have a business? We can still get them access to capital. We can get them the famous credit card stack, 0% business credit cards, which I'm going to break that down a little bit. The startup business lines of credit that you can stack them as well. Nobody's talking about that stuff, but we do that, right? And again, so yes, you can. This is not most of the money. This is the easiest strategy that I'm literally going to teach you today. And but yeah, they have excellent credit, like an excellent credit. I'm going to break that down later. But if we're not talking about a 660, we're talking about 700 plus credit score, low utilization, not a lot of inquiries, nothing negative on the credit report, and a diversified credit portfolio. And I'm going to break that down later. So number two, somebody has good to excellent credit, 660 and above, and they have a 2-year-old LLC. Why is this important? I'll give you an example. I have a client. He has a roofing company. First year, made about a couple $100,000 in just one quarter. He got his stuff together. Then 2024, he did about $8 million. Founded by marketing agency, just went crazy in a specific area, in a city that he used to cover with the marketing. So he comes to our company. Yeah, he needed about, I think, $1.5 million was a line of credit. Guess what? To get that capital to that client with cheap interest rates, with affordable interest rates, it's going to be almost impossible. Not because they don't have the money, but because they don't have the time in business. Banks, they have a strict policy. You need to have at least 2 years in business to qualify for products like business lines of credit and so on, the higher limit lending. But that's just traditional banks. We were still able to get this client funded, but it would have been easier for me to do that if they had a corporation that was set up for 2 years. So again, we lend to people with good credit and a 2-year-old LLC. Number three, Ariel, what if they have bad credit? That's fine. as long as they have a cash flowing business, we have alternative lending solutions for them. They're not going to qualify for bankable products, right? We're going to have to take them to some of our partners. They're going to lend them, but the debt is going to be a little bit more expensive, right? It's just an extra solution available to them. They're not going to be paying what this client, what a 2-year LLC is going to pay for. So again, these are the 3 people that we lend to. Everybody else, what do? Send them to credit repair. I know we have some credit repair experts in the group. So if you're already in that industry, perfect. Now all you need to do is use add this service to make even more money. But for the people that don't, use Dispute Panda or something like that. But we don't do credit repair. But so anyways, like there's something we can do. We're so busy with leads that we tell people, hey, like we can do anything like that. So anyways, let's go right into example number 1. Right? Excellent. Somebody with excellent credit with or without a business. Again, questions, I'm going to answer them at the end. Right? Like no questions until the end. What if you, let me give you an example. Okay, let's say you get one client. It's a startup. They don't even have an LLC, but they have a strong credit profile. I'm going to show you a strong credit profile later. Okay? And they have a stellar credit history. Right? Or maybe they just went through a credit sweep with somebody and now their credit report is pretty good. But then they still need capital. They just don't have a business. They don't have any money. They need about $100,000. Now, because you came to this class and you stay until the end, you get access to the document that I mentioned earlier. And you get access to, you help them get access to $75,000 to $100,000 in 0% business credit cards. Right? We get the high limits, and I'm going to break that down later. Like you guys still have questions. You get the multiple cards at 0%. You know the data points to enter to increase the chance of approval. You have the right relationships to make sure that this actually is able to happen. So because they're not able to do this on their own, if they go on their own to the bank, they might get $5,000. And that's just the truth. But because you know what you're doing and you have contacts and you know data points and whatnot, you get them the $100,000. You charge 8%. 8% upon getting them the capital. That means the client gets the car, they get an invoice for 8% of whatever the approval amount is, and they pay. So on $100,000, you usually made $8,000, right? On $100,000, that's $8,000 that you made, right? So like this is how most people are making money in this industry, just doing this strategy. And again, I'm going to give you a document at the end that breaks all that stuff down, so you don't have to pay somebody $5,000, $10,000 for it. So I'm going to give you that document. Just have one resource just for being here in the group. So again, this stuff works. Some of you might have paid for the service in the past, great, but most entrepreneurs are willing to pay for this stuff. And the ones that don't, we charge our consultant fee, but that's a different strategy. So does that make sense so far? Very straight to the point. Awesome. All right. So because you get them the capital that they couldn't have gotten on their own, now they're going to send you, guess what? Referrals. Because there's nothing more that likes to talk about their success than an entrepreneur. They call their buddy, hey, I just got $100,000 and I was able to make that move that I told you I was going to do. Wait, how do you do this? What do you mean? Oh, guess what? Well, I know this person, her name is Felicia. She attended the business loan broker masterclass. Sorry, but then I got to say that. But then she's a business loan broker and she was able to help me get access to the capital that I needed. And because of that, now I was able to get access to $100,000. Okay, can I get her information? And that's just literally the business. You help somebody, then you start getting referrals, and maybe you pay them a commission for the person sending you that stuff. It's as simple as that, right? And your average entrepreneur knows about 10 other entrepreneurs. So now they refer you to a second person, right? So we're gonna call this person Cash Flow Carlos. This is somebody that has good credit with a 2-year-old LLC, right? Remember that example that I sent for the people that will lend to. I'm trying to give you at least one example for every scenario, so it kind of makes sense. And the easiest strategy is to understand. So Cash Flow Carlos has an established business, and they have great credit. They have been in business for like around 5 years. And I give you a true example. So Carlos needs access to a business line of credit so he can fund payroll, right? His company is growing rapidly, and he just got this government contract that he needs to be able to fund. And he goes ahead and meets with a business loan broker that he met at a chamber of commerce. So he gets a referral from Bob, right? From the first person. They come to you. And because you have connections at the bank, so you know which banks are giving business lines of credit, you're able to get them approved for $250,000, right? And guess what? This client qualifies for almost every product they have the ability to repay. So again, he needs $250,000, and he only makes like around 1.1, 1.2. Not only I'm going to tell you for this example, because I'm not giving you a resource for this, I'm going to tell you a bank that this is really working right now, right? Like this is information that people will charge you for. Like, do you guys want me to give you the information real quick? Do we have time for that? All right. So TD Bank, everybody write this down. TD Bank, right? They're not everywhere, but if you have a client or if you're near a TD Bank, you can get up to 25% of your gross revenue for your business if you're actually cash flowing, up to $250,000. Anything under 100 grand, they're not gonna ask you for any financials, no documentation. They're just gonna ask for a 45060, which is a request to pull your tax transcript to confirm the last filed tax return revenue. And they don't do it with everybody. They don't do it. It depends on where you're located and how strong your SBSS score and a couple of factors. TD Bank has made us a lot of money. It has made me a lot of money over the last 3-4 years. Right? Sometimes they're lending, sometimes they're not. Right now they're lending. And we know that because we do a lot of volume and we have a lot of connections. Something called the excess capital cycle, when banks decide, hey, we need to meet our lending volume for the quarter. Let's just open the lending floodgates, lower whatever. I'm not gonna break that down today. So TD Bank will give you up to $250,000, minimum credit score, 680 credit score, in business for at least a year for you to qualify for this stuff. How do you apply? You just apply online. You can apply online for your client. It's just an online application, no relationships required. We get approvals for this all the time. Like literally, you meet the 680 credit score. You also need something called SBSS score, 190 and above. You can Google that. I'm not gonna have time to break that down today. Then that can make you money, right? That's just one bank. Oh, Ariel, what if it's a startup? You can get them an express line up to SBA express line from TD Bank up to $25,000. That one is truly no dots, and it's a startup friendly. It's gonna be based strongly on the person's credit profile. So, boom, that's real information that's working right now, and just like that, we have dozens and dozens of other banks. So, like, if you want to do the strategy right here, all you have to do is find a client that's looking for a business line of credit. Get the financial information to figure out exactly how much money they're making, and let them know, hey, I can get you up to 25% of your gross revenue. On the 100, if they have all the documentation, tax returns and whatnot, go for the full 250. If they don't have their stuff together, go for under $100,000. So boom. Are you guys getting value so far? Or you thought this was just gonna be like a whole bunch of fluff, like, hey, you could do this, like, look, it looks cool and stuff. Let me just know what's in the chat that you guys are getting value and you're happy you came to that. All right. So you get him approved for $250,000 with no docs, thanks to your relationships and your knowledge of the lending industry. This is just one bank. We have thousands of banks, right? So now this person, because they couldn't have gotten this money on their own, it was an emergency, you charge 10%. You charge 10%, right? Which is $25,000 in the 250 grand. Why does this strategy work so well? Because they're not paying you that money directly from their own funds. They pay you upon success of you getting them the money. They're not paying you up front. We rarely charge up front, right? So exactly. So $25,000, and this happens all the time. And this is the same training that the same strategy that helped Elia after attending the 5-day business loan broker challenge. He made $15,000. Why he made 15 after helping somebody get access to 300 grand? Because he charged 5%. You know, at the beginning, some people, you don't feel confident in the 10%. So now they refer you Bob, right? Now they refer you to Bob. Bob has been in business for 8 months, but has bad credit. This is your average entrepreneur. But it's not because Bob stopped paying his bills. It's not because Bob just decided to get a trip to Dubai, max out his car, and never paid that car, right? It's because Bob believed enough in himself that he put all his eggs on the one basket. He said, I'm going to make this stuff happen, this entrepreneurship stuff happen. Maxed out his personal credit cards, right? He crowdfunded, maybe got a loan from family and friends. Tapped into his home equity line of credit. because he didn't know that it was possible to get access to business capital. He didn't know some of the people that are in this room that are going to take action to become a business loan broker. So because of that, his credit's maxed out and it just dropped. And I've been there before too, believe it or not. And some of you guys, I'm pretty sure you have been in that position already before. You just didn't know this stuff was possible. It wasn't we didn't have access to as much information as we do today. So, and let me know that you've been in that situation. So I know I have. They need the capital. The credit is maxed out. So now, for this specific client, they have as they have a specific situation where they need to buy equipment. They need to buy equipment, and this piece of equipment, actually, I'll tell you a real case scenario. They need to buy this very big ice machine in Pennsylvania. I don't know why I said the state. So this ice machine is gonna let them sell ice to other companies, and it's gonna bring them like an extra $300,000 to $400,000 worth of revenue, because they're gonna be the only reseller in the area, right? All the way near Erie, Pennsylvania. So they have bad credit. They have the opportunity, this business opportunity to grow their business, and because they have bad credit, all they qualify for is not a loan. It's an advance on their receivables, the infamous merchant cash advance, right? This debt is expensive. This person does not qualify for anything else. It's not a loan. So it's not a loan. It's not cheap. But guess what? This person was willing to pay to get access to that capital because they knew that we're gonna turn $1 into 10, right? And this happens a lot, believe it or not. We didn't used to offer this capital before, until we started getting so many people that they will come back to us like, hey, my credit's good now. Like, I need to get out of this specific capital, or like, look, I got into that program that you told me not to get in the past. So if they weren't getting it from us, they were getting it from somebody else, right? So if it happens, but look, we provide the solution. If they take it, great. But why is this product sexy for some people, for entrepreneurs, and for us too? So let's say you get them the $100,000. It funds in 24 to 48 hours. Their total loan cost is going to be $142,000, which is expensive, but they don't qualify for anything else. And they really need this money, right? So they have a buy rate, which is like 34%. Whatever. I'm not going to get into the details of this, but just know that you're going to make $13,000 and sometimes more on the $42,000, right? The client gets the commission very quickly. You get paid in 5 to 7 business days directly from the lender. The client is happy. They get the capital, they pass on their account, you keep it moving. And and you also let the client know, once your credit is fixed, you do credit repair, then we can get you into a bankable or a traditional product, right? And also this type of capital also works well when you're doing an SBA loan. You guys want one more example before I keep moving? You guys want an SBA example? All right, cool. So only Candy ones that, all right, sounds good. So I have a client right now. They are purchasing. So I don't know, you know, but you can do 100% business financing on a business acquisition. You can buy the competition. So this specific client, he has a logistic trucking company. Makes $8 to $9 million a year. No, sorry, he's 24. He grows close to $10 million, right? And then he wants to buy his competition on another state for $5 million, which is the maximum he can get for an SBA loan for business acquisition. The customer financials are amazing. Solid 800 credit score, great business credit and financials, enough cash flow. Got him approved for the fire, right? Like 100% business financing, which is a new program that the SBA is offering. So he's buying up his competition for no money out of pocket. So the client needs to close a little bit quicker. And then the client needs access to about $1 million before he gets into the, so he can get into an agreement to secure the location, the real estate and everything else. The SBA moves slow. This is basically almost a 3-month process. He's approved, but the SBA has to do their due diligence. And for me, I'm doing my due diligence and I'm pushing this deal because I'm getting paid 3% on the whole deal. You guys do the math, 3% on $5 million. Actually, I'm going to do it real quick. I think it's like $150,000 or $200,000, 5 million, 0.03. Yeah, so $150,000 I'm getting paid on this loan. And that's a combination from the lender the SBA lender is gonna pay us 1%, and the customer is gonna pay us 2%, right? That you don't find these deals all the time, but when you find them, they're pretty good. So, anyways, we got that person an advance on the receivables for close to $1 million, so he could secure the business that he was purchasing. And then guess what? The SBA, right? On the merchant cash advance, we made I think it was like 6.5 points. Only basically made 6% on that money. And then once the SBA loan closes, we're gonna refinance the advance into the SBA loan, and then I'm gonna get paid again 3%. So now you're double dipping. So this is basically how we do business, and we're able to meet the need of the client at the moment, right? So we just present the options. That's why it's good to have options. So, and this type of capital is the same capital that helped Eduardo make $5,000 with one of our lending partners, which is Rock Financial, within 30 days of taking the challenge, right? Exactly, double dipping. You're right, Chris. So I'm still gonna give you one more example, and I'm gonna be. If you guys think I'm speaking fast, I'm out to speak even faster because I think I overshare more information on this part, and I have to keep it going. Right. So, anyways, now Bob refers you to another client that needs to buy a commercial property. Their credit is average, but they have at least 25% down payment to purchase a property that's worth $750K. So they need about $500,000, and they need to close in the next 45 days. They cannot go to your traditional bank because they don't meet their credit requirement about 650. They're below 650. And they come to us, we find them a lender that closes in less than 2 months. And because it's a little bit of a risky deal, that is not a bankable deal, we're gonna charge 5 points. Right? These are all real case scenarios, by the way. So they $500,000, 5%, that's a commission of $28,125 in commission, just by connecting somebody to the right lender, because they were gonna waste a lot of time finding the institution that was able to get them funded. So that's the same strategy that Christine did after she attended the Business Loan Broker Challenge. She made close to $14,000 with her first deal. I'm even gonna give you the one of our lenders, Velocity Mortgage, right? So 3 clients in this industry from 3 strategies made you $66,725. Some of my mentees get this in 1 month, not 3 months, in 1 month.